Welcome back. Haven't done this type of video in a while, but I thought I should do it. Why? Because I need to express my opinion about what's happening in the car industry lately, and the near future of it is not looking well for us, the consumer, right? And also because I posted, thinking of that, right? I posted a short video on the channel last week or so, and it got some traction, and people jumped onto it to leave their thoughts in the comments. And some people get it, some people were going, misled by the point of the video. They took it literally as the short was going and what the details in the short. But today we're gonna react to some new cars and their features.
The people who work on today's vehicles every single day are starting to sound the alarm. As modern cars and trucks become more software-driven, more expensive to repair, and increasingly difficult to diagnose, many mechanics are speaking openly about the challenges facing both drivers and the automotive repair industry.
This is a prime example of why it is so expensive to repair today's vehicles. This Mazda CX-5 came in.
Why we had to replace a whole subframe for a bushing? Oh my god.
With a differential bushing that was completely blown out and torn apart. And as you can see, that bushing is completely ready to fall out of the car. Mazda does not sell this bushing by itself. This bushing is easily able to be pressed in and pressed out. However, they don't supply it to us or anybody in the world. So the only way to service this bushing is to replace the entire subframe.
Bro. This is not ridiculous. This is not just ridiculous. This is stupid, man. A whole fucking subframe for one bushing. Are you serious? Mazda is taking a piss, bro.
And that is a lot of added cost, time, labor, materials that is unnecessary. And we hate to see this, but our hands are tied when we cannot get the parts.
If it was something really important, yeah, I don't mind the cost. I don't mind the time and work. But for a bushing, man, makes no sense. Absolutely.
Well, if this is not a great indicator that you should not buy anything built by Stellantis, I don't know what is. We've had numerous vehicles coming in, these late model Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep coming in that are under the Stellantis title. They're just falling apart. These 3.6s are having so many cam issues, and just even the 5.7s, we're starting to see a bunch of junk on them. So if you're looking at a late model Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, I would definitely recommend you avoid them because they're starting to become big problems.
Yeah.
Customers are always asking me, Ryan, why do you not like BMWs? What is it about a BMW that you don't like? Let me show you. Everything in the car is plastic. Everything is plastic, and it's so brittle. This broke in my hand.
Bro, engine bay is getting hot. Of course, plastic gets brittle and then it blows. Cracks. And not only that, but like since BMW, I don't know, let's say after 2005 or so, I started looking at BMWs, but I was only looking at them for the looks and like talking about new cars, right? For the looks and for the technology. Because back in 2000s, it was technology, the technology that was in cars, in most cars, was something new, exciting, and also it was useful, right? Like a backup camera or, parking sensors, I don't know, heating seats. Although I personally don't use them that much. Heating steering wheel, I never used it. Stuff like that. But I mean, talking in general. But when it comes to BMWs, I was just looking straight for the looks and the technology that was exciting in it, and you know, the large displays instead of one DIN radios and stuff like that. But yeah, I never liked to own a BMW unless I get it, you know, for free by some chance, and I get to keep it 3 to 5 years tops.
Hands, but you can see where it's dry rotted. The white is stress marks and dry rotted. So everything is brittle and plastic. Even replacing such as the water pump, the impeller inside the water pump, plastic. This fin, vacuum actuated fin, plastic. It is all plastic. All these coolant line hoses, they are all some form of plastic. This vehicle that you guys are paying so much money for, yes, they're nice.
On top of everything, reliability is not in their vocabulary. And on top of everything, you have to pay loads of money for getting one of these cars. That's crazy.
These vehicles, they look beautiful, right? They're a beautiful piece of equipment. They look beautiful. But y'all have no idea what y'all are really paying for. You guys are paying for brittle plastic.
You're paying for the
Do you believe things that get hot and cold should be made in plastic, or it should be made with something that lasts longer? The materials that they're putting in this is cheap as hell, and you guys are paying top dollar for this. As a mechanic, would I ever drive one of these? Hell no. Nice to own, it'll break your wallet. I'd rather go with a Toyota or a Honda or something like that that'll last longer.
Volvo.
But honestly, they're doing the same thing with plastic stuff as well too. They haven't gotten to the point with plastic hoses. Everything's still rubber. But just be wary. You guys are going to spend a lot of money if you like this brand. Just be wary.
All of these little GM cars with the Ecotech engines, they have an abortion of cooling system. They always leak. It doesn't matter how many parts you replace, the new parts leak 10, 20, 30,000 miles down the road, unless it's an OEM replacement, and then it might last 40, 50, 60. And then every single time you're trying to pop off one of these hard plastic cooling lines that have a stupid ass pop-in fitting, just snaps off. Well, now we're getting to the point where some of these lines are back ordered. So what are you going to do? Exhibit A.
You just leave it to rot and just get another one. But a better one, even though that could mean to be an older one, you just choose, like the other guy said, Toyota, Honda.
This pops into the water outlet, and it just pops in to that metal. So we're just going to sit here and act like hard plastic lines aren't going to get brittle and deteriorate when coolant's running through them nonstop? Come on, dude. This is such piss poor quality, it's ridiculous.
Exactly. That's what I said.
But anyways, had to replace this, and this probably isn't even 6 months old. Moto Rad. These plugs down here, they leak every single time on this replacement part, so we switched over to a different brand, Murray. Anyways, as you can see, I've already had this plug out once, replaced the O-ring on it, and covered it with RTV and popped it back in there. This time when I took it off, well, what's that? Oh, a big old chunk of metal missing? Wonder where that is. Oh, and don't come at me with you installed it improperly, blah, blah, blah. 89 inch-pounds. It's easy. But, yeah, so that's a month out, that line. So what I had to do was take a piece of brake line, trim the hard plastic line, shove the brake line inside of it, and then take hose and slip it over and clamp it in place. Cars are not quality anymore. It's
not to mention that they put smaller and smaller engines in cars that, you know, with all the technology, they have to be in the cars today for safety purposes, right? Is making every car very heavy. And when you put a small engine in a heavy car and you boost it very much, like you put a turbo, like a big turbo on it, you just force the internals of that engine and they will crack. Not over that much time. And in a few years, they crack. Why? Because they're under a big load all the time, constantly, right? But they don't care. That's how they want to make their money, not by selling the cars, but by selling like broken cars or cars that are not reliable, and in the first few years they break down and they sell the parts. Or you can do what Mazda does, and as you saw earlier, they you need to change a whole subframe just for one bushing. That they don't sell.
Quantity over quality, and it's fucking piss poor.
You know what's kind of crazy? It used to be in mechanics that you look for the oldest guy in the building because he's probably going to know the most. I've been a mechanic myself for almost 15 years. I used to always look up to the older heads, but now we got things like hybrids. We're not dealing with carburetors and points anymore. Electronic AC compressors, CVT transmissions, fully electric ABS units. It's just becoming more and more common that if you don't have a good scan tool, you're not going to be able to work on these cars.
These are going, what, 80,000, 60,000? They got head problems. They should all be a recall.
How you doing?
Honda.
The old one.
It's pretty small.
Yeah, I know. A little dinky four-cylinder.
Be pretty sad for a Honda. I mean, they're supposed to go forever.
Yeah, Honda's supposed to be a good car, but the newer ones are junk. You see old Honda Civics and Honda Accords on the road with 300,000-400,000 miles in the same engine.
What I said.
Running beautiful. These are going, what, 80,000, 60,000? They got head problems. They should all be a recall. Every one of them should be recalled.
100%.
Just because it says sport don't mean you can go beating on a circle track up in West Warren. That thing is, on the wire and harness that came from the junkyard, they cut it. They cut this one, they cut that one, they cut the main one going into the fuse box. I'm like, why would you do something stupid like that? The one that came from the junkyard, they broke this. Broke all the way around. You look, it broke all the way around.
Alright, I'll get going. Thank you very much.
See this little...
So they breaking even the reliable cars nowadays, like Toyotas and Hondas. Even Volvo is not Swedish anymore. Mind you, even when he was under Ford company, the heart of each car, which is the engine, was still made by Swedish the Swedish company, or the Swedish norms, right? The same recipe. But now, since they got bought by Geely, whatever you want to call it, the Chinese brand, they're ish.
Ford logo right here stamped on this thing. 2021 Ford Bronco, just finished the water pump at 60,000 miles. Check this out. Would you buy something like that? I think I would rather get in a car crash using my toolbox
Exactly.
than I would with this Ford Bronco. This thing's a POS, if you ask me. Yeah, I think if you get in a car crash with this, you'll probably die.
Here's the reason why.
The only big thing about Volvos nowadays, especially when it comes to XC90s from Geely, yeah, like Chinese brand, they kept the safetiness of the shell of the car, right? So even if you roll or get in a car crash, you will survive. But here we're talking about reliability, right? And this is just going out the window.
I left being a
Even
car
at
mechanic
Volvos.
and just quit the trades completely. Number one, the time. I used to work 60 hours a week. I used to commute 2 hours a day in total there and back. And when I got home, it was around dinner time, and basically I had an hour or two with my family, then I did it all over again the next day. Number two, I feel like car mechanics or auto technicians, because we actually diagnose the problem and not just change parts. We diagnose the problem and make sure it's done right. Well, if you're a good mechanic, that's what you do. We are just underpaid compared to every other single trade, even though that we are doing every single other trade in one thing. We're electricians, we're plumbers, we're HVAC people, and the list goes on. And now this is a real reason why I quit the car mechanic thing. I looked at how my life would be. I would work 60 hours a week for the next 40 years, retire at 65. I was just like, there must be more to this. There better be more to life than just working your butt off until you're 65. And this is why I learned another high income skill set where I don't have to trade my time for money anymore. And the crazy part is the future is headed this way. Because of this high income skill set, I'm making way more money than I did as a car mechanic, and also I work way less hours. And now I have time for my family. Right now it's like 10 a.m. and I'm just shooting this video.
What is the average technician? So I want you guys to go in the comments right now and tell me what you think the average technician, automotive technician, is getting paid in the United States right now. And I know it's different across the country. But
honestly, it's
just
not only
give me what you think the average is. It's pretty low.
But
right now, the average technician in the United States, gave you a second to do that, is right at $47,000. $47,000. We wonder why we can't get people into the business, right? Well, okay, I talked to Keith Perkins yesterday, super smart guy in this industry, and as a trainer, his wife owns a shop. I mean, a very intelligent person. And he quoted something to me, and I said, I'm going to use that. He said he called it the 30-30-30. You get to go to trade school and pay $30,000 to come out of it and spend $30,000 on tools, so then you can go ahead and make $30,000 in your first year. Yeah, I don't think very many people want to sign up for that, right? And as
one step forward, two steps back, right?
an industry, and Mr. Farley, you know, if you ever see this, we need to first think about how are we compensating the technicians that we're bringing into the business. And how are we treating them when they do come in? Well, first of all, let me tell you, manufacturers, dealerships, up to manufacturers, let me tell you how technicians there generally get paid. I've done a video on this before, but it's part of this problem. It's a huge part of this problem. Those technicians get paid flat rate, generally, at a dealership. I don't, leave a comment down below if you're a dealership technician that doesn't get paid flat rate. There's some, I'm sure, but the overwhelming majority get paid flat rate, and they get no guarantee.
Now, if the technician takes it out in 3 hours, he still gets paid for the full 6.5. But if it takes him 8 hours to get this axle out, let's say it's rusted, it's crappy, whatever else, unfortunately, he's still only going to be paid the 6 hours. Now, typically, this is usually a great way for mechanics to make a lot of money. Back in the day, I remember doing like head gasket jobs, getting like 13, 14 hours and knocking it out in a little less than a day. And that was a great thing. And so you're making all this extra money. But now cars are becoming so insanely electrical. The diagnosis is what kills everything. So even like this car, I'm going to show you over here. This is a G-Wagon we're taking apart. And it literally has 7 computers back here to control the navigation, the stereo system, the self-leveling system, all kinds of crazy stuff. But just imagine if you have a short and you have literally 3 pounds of spaghetti to double check and go through. How do you know which one's wrong, which one's bad? And most times they only pay you maybe a half hour or an hour for diag. That's not enough. So technicians.
Yeah, man, they just increased the technology in cars. They increased the hourly rates, but they left behind the time for each and every thing that you need to do as a mechanic, as a technician, to do for car, to repair a car, which is, let's say, like this guy said, if you need to just diagnose something, you just get half an hour. If you need to change something that should be easy, but someone at the cars factory thought they should play a prank to the mechanics, they changed the location, or they make it very, very, very hard to get to. You only get paid half an hour, but the job actually takes hours and hours. So they changed everything but the times for each job. Like, we are in 2026 when it comes to technology and all that, but we are back in 2000s with the times for each individual thing that you have to do to repair a car.
Are racking their brains, spending hours upon hours to fix this stuff, and then they're not being compensated. On top of that, you know, you're paying for experience. It used to kill me when people would come in and we would like charge them for an hour and we'd fix their car in 20 minutes. They're like, that's not fair. You fixed my car in 20 minutes. I'm like, yeah, I've done, you know, hundreds of these repairs. Let's say it's some sort of electrical short or a loose ground on some of these Ford F-250s.
I'm not a newbie.
It's a normal thing. We've spent, you know, tons of time researching it, digging into it, repairing these things. So now we have it down to a fine science. One of the uses that I always like to use is an actual actuator for your blend door, for your AC. I don't know if you guys ever heard these, but you know, when your dash, you turn it on, you hear this. That's your blend door actuator. It's a $20 part. But people get pissed off when you tell them it's going to be $800 to put it in because we got to take the whole dash, the steering wheel.
just what I said. Oh my God, bro. From $20 that the part costs till actually the work costing, what, 40 times more? That's crazy.
On the airbag and everything out of the car. And so they don't realize, like, well, yeah, it's a $20 part, but it's going to take a lot of time to take all that stuff off. And then we want to make sure we do it correctly. We take our proper time and everything else. And it's just.
Not to mention that with so much technology, you need to be so careful not to put like a wire to the wrong like connection. You need to be really careful because some shortcut might happen, or when you set the car on fire, or you break something into the what do you call it, the computer, the car's computer, and all that. You need to be careful with that. Why? Because these are new things and they're getting newer and newer with each year and each model, right? So you don't have the time to get to know that thing specifically very good.
Just people are not getting compensated the way they used to. And especially now, we're in an industry where people don't like to fix stuff. They just will get rid of it and get something new. 90% of the cars that are here and even in the back of the yard are stuff that people walked away from. You know, it had maybe a mechanical issue, something else. They decided to walk away from their auto loan. Some people just decided to sell their cars. And this is the way that people are thinking now. So now technicians are faced with the fact, well, do I work at a franchise store and work on new cars and maybe squeak by with ours? Do I work at a used store and basically get run ragged, but then you're not going to get compensated for diag time? Or are you just going to go out and buy and fix cars and flip them yourselves? I actually recommend the latter, but you got to get started somewhere.
It's a lot worse than we actually thought is what we're finding out. If you simply back in and you break your tail light and you find that tail light somewhere else and you buy it, and you replace it yourself, there's a reader in the tail light that reads to the computer. The car will know that tail light came from somewhere else and is not coded to your car. At that point, it will shut your car down. You can't drive it. You'll have to get a tow truck. So there's a fee right there. It'll take you to the nearest dealer. At the dealer, you're going to have to pay a diagnostic fee. So now you're paying again. The third time you pay is just simply for the mechanic to plug his computer into your car and then put a password in that okays the light that you already paid for and installed yourself, just to give you the ability to drive your car back. You can't do anything to the car.
Just for the computer to accept the other part. I'm telling you, this is too much technology, man. Too much technology. Don't get me started with those fucking lane assists and all these things that you just experience as a driver, right? Not as a mechanic, but as a driver. So many things that pisses me off.
Car that you are paying on or you own, unless the dealer is allowed to make their profit. It's definitely much worse than we thought.
Ladies and gentlemen, oh no, they want to take away our right to repair vehicles and our ability to repair vehicles. None of this stuff is at all new to me, and you shouldn't be too surprised either. I remember around 20 years ago standing around a downed tree drinking beer with friends, as we did in those days for some reason. We were watching an old guy rebuild a chainsaw on the tailgate of his truck, and his reaction when he saw that he had plastic cages in his crank bearings was priceless. He rattled off expletives for about 10 minutes. Words like Chinese and throwaway saw were also tossed in there. Then he began a lecture that we had heard many times before, but it was always amusing. This lecture began with something along the lines of, this all started when they took away our grease fittings, then they took away our rag joints and gave us universals we couldn't replace in our steering shaft.
But we couldn't understand what he's yapping about. We thought he's mumbling because he's angry or something, right? But then later on, a few years, we get to see and be in that guy's position. We get to mumble and curse a lot.
Now they want us to replace entire units instead of fixing them. Soon we're going to have to replace entire cars instead of fixing them. It was amusing for about 3 hours until we were too tipsy to keep up, or we were just tired and went to bed. But this guy was right. This guy's discontent was a bit misplaced. He was mostly outlining the fallout of consumerism, but it doesn't help. Your right to repair things has been under attack for a very long time from all different angles. It goes like this. Make it difficult to repair things. Make it so it's not fashionable to repair things. Make it so it's not profitable to repair things. And finally, make it illegal to repair things. That's why I struggle so much, don't have any money, and I'm not cool. Soon I'll be a criminal. Awesome.
Bro, we have to stick together on this one. We have to unite. We have to stop spending so much money on these new bullshit cars, bro. They're literally, nowadays, they're just phones on wheels. That's it. And you have to pay, like, you have the entire car, but you have to pay subscriptions over subscriptions just to get to use the fucking car. That's crazy.
Half the people working in automotive right now will not be working there this same time next year. Now, we can mull over these statistics and we can talk about why that is, but I want to talk about people for a minute. Because honestly, this is sad. They do this because they have a passion for it. They love the idea of working on cars. They love the technology. They like to help people. They truly do. But then they get into the shop and then things start to change. They realize that this career wasn't what they had in mind. Sure, they still get to work on cars and fix them, diagnose them, and learn about them, all the stuff they like, but now they're chasing metrics. They're chasing hours. They're trying to flag warranty time. They're working with advisors and managers that just don't understand what it is they do, and they feel more like a salesperson trying to get upsells than they do a mechanic trying to fix a car. You see, they're put on a pay system that treats them more like a commission-based employee than a salary or hourly-based employee, which the trades are typically known for. This gets them fascinated, obsessed in a very negative way about the concept of time. This is not a place anyone wants to be in, by the way, because you take this stuff home. Since time is now incredibly important to you because you're paid on flat rate, you start to hyper-focus on your time. You start to look at how often am I walking back and forth to the parking lot? How long do I have to stand in the parts department before I can get my quote? How long am I waiting on the advisor to get back to me while this car is in my bay? How much of my time is being wasted every single day? And it's very frustrating to sit there and look at a car waiting for an authorization or being told that the part didn't come in today or they forgot to order it or it's back ordered now and now I'm screwed and I'm not going to get my money out of it. Or maybe the customer is just upset and doesn't want to pay, which means I don't get paid today. All that time goes to waste. And then that mechanic looks in the mirror after a couple years of a career. They wanted to do this. They were passionate about it. They probably trained in high school and everything like that. They just had a passion for it. And now they're saying, this is not what I thought it was. They're saying to themselves, I think that I might be treated better if I do something else. Maybe something I don't even like as much. And that's truly the saddest thing, is we're watching people walk away from what is their passion. And we need mechanics, and it's great they're passionate about it because it's such important work. But people are walking away from their passion for stability. That should never be the case, especially not in an industry like automotive that touches literally every other industry. You're in the hospitality industry, guess what? You need automotive. Are you in medicine? Guess what? You need automotive. You're in construction. Yeah, you also need automotive. You know why all of you need automotive? Because you have to get to work. You need a way to get there. You got to get your equipment back and forth. You need transportation. So we can sit here and we can pound on the statistics and we can talk about all the different things about automotive, but I just wanted to take a moment to talk about the people that are caught up in this mess, the people that are being juggled all across the industry and throughout other industries because their passion, unfortunately, turned into a nightmare.
What's up? Hey man, I sold that alternator job, but it's got to be done today. It's 4:30. Hey man, they're on their way. They'll be here by 5. Stay here till it's done.
Whatever, man. What's up, man?
They just traded this thing in, and they need to get their shit out of it. So you're gonna have to lower.
Being held up with a screw jack right now.
I can't help it. Figure it out.
Yeah, that's another dark side when it comes to mechanics. They not only have to deal with, you know, stupid cars, basically. They also have to put up with their company, right? Because things like this could happen. I mean, not could happen. I bet they happen all the time. They don't care. All they want is the money. They push you to work because they just sitting like this and they get paid. That's it. They get the bookings and then get the money, and they pay you little to nothing, but they push you to work your ass off.
Being held up with a screw jack right now.
I can't help it. Figure it out.
I don't care.
Get a fucking
you just have to
ladder.
do it.
All right.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up?
Not a lot. Hey, there's.
And this is a safety issue as well, if you think about it. Like, not necessarily that he wants to, but the mechanic might slip up and make mistakes, like fatal mistakes, when they get pushed like that by the company. I don't care. You have to do it. This is what you have to do today. I don't care how, but you have to do it, right? And they might miss something, like a screw or something like that, right? And later on, what you get? An accident, a big accident that might involve multiple cars and fatalities and all that. Bro, I get the mechanics that are leaving. I get them.
Meeting today?
Yeah.
12 o'clock. You're going to have to be there.
I have a meeting with my bank today at lunch.
You're going to have to be there.
It's mandatory?
Yep. And you're not getting any lunch, so
Bro,
I expect
what the
Are we getting paid?
No, you're also not getting paid.
Fuck off. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. Do it yourself. I'm going to that meeting that I have with my bank. I'm taking my lunch. What do you mean? I'm not getting paid.
Sweet. I guess I'll be there.
That sounds good.
Well, you shouldn't. Hey man, we got the new multi-point system here. There's your login. Good luck.
Awesome. Thanks. Hey man, I downloaded that new.
These clips here are skits, right? They're not real, but those are real scenarios happening, you know, behind the scenes.
Multi-point system, but it won't let me log on. Like something's wrong with the internet. You know what's wrong?
Yeah, I guess to work on it. Probably be down for a couple of days. Hell, I don't know.
What's going on?
Yeah.
That my flag sheet was like 7 hours short. Do you know what's going on with that for last week?
Yeah,
I get to see this Adam guy here, but I really hope these are skits. These are made up scenarios. But I'm starting to think that they're real.
One truck that you did the transmission overhaul in, the extended warranty, they only paid 6 hours, man. Sorry.
But the job paid 14 total.
Hell, it is what it is.
Whatever, man.
Nah, I'll be gone out of there.
Hey man, we got a minute to go for a road test with me on this one. It only happens once a week when the sun's up and the rain's down. Yeah, let's go. Okay.
Hey, I'm here for that axle, that Fusion I ordered yesterday.
Oh, I just checked in on parts, so apparently I ordered the left front instead of the right front. My bad, dude.
I already tore the car apart though.
Shit. I asked them if they could overnight it. They said they'll overnight it, but it's 6 days out.
Hey, lunch is 12 to 1. Wherever the fuck I want to take it.
Hey man, I tried to log into that new multi-point system we got. My internet's not working. Do you know what's going on?
Yeah, the internet's down for a couple days, man. We'll just have to deal with it for a while.
What am I supposed to do about the multi-point?
What's up?
What's up?
Can I go home, man? There ain't no fucking work to do.
Hell no!
I have to stay here till 4?
What time did you get here?
7?
4 o'clock it is.
And there's no work.
There ain't no work.
And I have to sit here.
Clean these tools up. Clean this floor.
All right.
All right.
Happens once a week when the sun's up and the rain's down.
The way this guy accepts it, like it's too easy, and sometimes he almost smiles, right? So that makes me think this is just skits, made up scenarios. But like I said, these are really real scenarios that happen when no one sees.
Yeah, let's go. Okay.
This video is wonderful. It really does explain why the mechanics, why there's a shortage of them.
Yeah.
Who wants to get into an industry where you have to buy tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars of tools? As an employee, you're not a business owner, you're an employee. So you don't get the same tax breaks as a business owner.
Hold on. You mean you get hired but you have to use your own tools? That cannot be true. Like, what the fuck am I working for you? Why am I getting employed by you if you don't offer me the tools to do the job? If I got the tools, I got the experience and knowledge, I might as well just work by myself like a self-employed or something, right? I don't need you.
But then you're expected to basically work for free half the time. And then to make up the hours, you basically have to scam the customer, cut corners, do whatever you can to beat the time on the clock. And it doesn't matter how long you've been in the business, you have to keep doing that until the day you retire or quit. That's why this industry is so broken. Why is it such a skilled job not paid a salary or hourly, but instead a flat rate, which is commission? We're not car salesmen. We're not service advisors. You're actually doing real work, and you deserve real pay.
By the way, these scenarios that you saw so far, they are real. Like, for example, it happened to me. I went to a shop, right, several times with not that big jobs I had. Like, I don't know, for, little things, medium things to change, to do, to fix my car. And I was refused. Not once, not twice, multiple times. I was refused. And eventually they told me that they don't want to fix my car because it takes too much time and is getting paid not enough. Like, I have to pay a couple of hours, but it takes more than that and all that, right? So that's what they told me. So then I decided to do DIYs and maintain my own cars myself, right? Because I got refused. I got rejected. And that's how I know these videos are real. This is insane. What's happening today is insane. And I'll have some more clips like these because, like I said, we need to stick together. We need to unite when it comes to these cars, bro. These new cars. This industry is getting worse and worse. And we didn't get to the part where you have to spend tons of money on new vehicles that depreciate very fast and a lot, and they have too much technology that is literally against us as drivers, owners, whatever you call it. But yeah, I'll leave the short that I was talking about in the beginning of the video. I'll leave it in the description of this video. Please leave me your thoughts in the comments and let's chat about what's happening in the car industry these days, and maybe we can find a solution, right? So thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned for more uploads. Bye.